Okay, so this video actually just came
Call
out
of Duty and
like
Trash Talk go
today.
hand in hand, but in the CBL today,
Bro, I'm actually gonna lose my mind.
Call of Duty
Can
and
I
Trash
like
Talk go hand
clear
in hand,
everything now?
but in the CDL
Yeah, there we
today,
go.
there was one player.
So yeah, this video just came out 4 hours ago. Well, it's already got 7,600 views. Rivalries in Call of Duty aren't uncommon, but what happens when the beef starts outside the game between girlfriends and wives? Bro, what the
Call of Duty and Trash Talk go hand in
This
hand,
one's made
but
my
in the
breaking
CBL
point.
today, there was one player so hated, the fans chant his
Oh,
name
what
in
the
every venue. Drazah is a player known for his trash talking, particularly against fan favourites Optic Gaming, but there's another who has taken trash talking to a completely different level. That player is Scrappy, possibly the best player in the league today, and once good friends with Drazah himself, once upon a time. But in recent years, the friendship suddenly transformed into one of the biggest public spats in the history of esports, from insane Twitter drama to on-stage altercations, even getting the girlfriends involved. This is the story of how two friends kickstarted one of the hottest feuds in esports history. Drazah and Scrappy weren't always under the spotlight. For Drazah, former name Hazard in reverse, his career seemed over before it had even begun. Hailing from Alaska, this practically made it impossible to compete online due to ping. But Drazah refused to give up on his dreams. For the Modern Warfare 19 season, he moved to Seattle and worked hard to make a name for himself as an amateur.
Our Battle Beaver MVP controller. Congratulations to Drazah. There you go.
Like, they got lucky and we clutched up, and Civ is not better than me.
However, another curveball was thrown his way with the arrival of the pandemic in early 2020. This meant that all LAN events were cancelled for the foreseeable future, moving tournaments to a purely online setting. For an up-and-coming amateur with big dreams, this was devastating. But with the World Championship looming, hope was potentially in the air. Dashi, a former MVP, as well as Chino, were controversially benched by Optic Gaming Los Angeles in a move which sent shockwaves through the community. Optic, fake Optic, no Scump and Hex, were in desperate need of a top player to turn their fortunes around. And in the end, General Manager Muddog found two surprise options to fit perfectly on the roster.
The first player that we're signing is named Drazah. He's a young 19-year-old kid who was originally from Alaska but moved over to Seattle at the beginning of this year so he could compete in Modern Warfare.
Hollow and Drazah joined the team and officially made it pro. This was his moment to show that he belonged, but the stakes could not be any higher.
Jesus,
Optic,
what the
however,
fuck game mode was that? Was that an S&D?
Made it pro.
Is that what they're playing right now? Yeah, bro, he has 16 fucking kills.
This was his moment to show that he belonged, but the stakes could not be any higher. Optic, however, were able to win 3 series in a row with Drazah, and it was here where everyone got the first glimpse of his trash talk. After being teased for their poor scrim performances by Exceed, Drazah responded in the perfect way, with a tweet which still lives long in the memory. But Optic failed to make it to the top 4, as they suffered a heartbreaking Game 5 Round 11 defeat to the Chicago Huntsmen, with Drazah's future teammate Envoy delivering the final blow. For Drazah though, a top 6 finish was respectable. He'd proven his worth on the biggest stage, clearly a grinder and with a winning mentality that few others could surpass. And in the following season, his hard work was rewarded. In 2021, a brand new franchise entered the league, the Los Angeles Thieves. Thieves already had a history of winning and losing in Call of Duty, but Nadeshot's organization was back, taking over Optic Gaming Los Angeles and keeping on some of their players, including re-signing none other than Drazah to help deliver more chips. This was meant to be Drazah's breakout opportunity, but it was a season packed with controversial roster changes. Drazah was never a consistent starter on the team, with all manner of chaos emerging at the hands of JCap as the season unfolded.
Oh my God.
And while his wait for a championship continued, his mindset and consistency made him the standout player as the Vanguard
Drazah, Venom, TJ Halley, and
along with the new Call of Duty title, there was a new player on the scene ready to eclipse him. Thomas Scrappy Ernst, or Ernie to some, of the Toronto Ultra Academy was making a name for himself.
He joined at the start of Modern Warfare 2, right?
Statistical dominance.
But he was the challenges in
Every LAN
I know you're dog shit. One sec, chat. I gotta go take a piss.
he attended, there seemed to be at least one viral clip of Scrappy trash talking his opponents.
Oh wait, is that him with Vickle? Yeah,
it's him with Vickle. He tried to get under someone's skin. Back in 2015, at just 13 years of age, Scrap would attend local events nearby his New Jersey home. And the rest is history. Some predicted that one day he might be the biggest trash talker in the Pro League. Scrap showcased his abilities throughout the year in challenges, but also grinded search and destroy tournaments, just like Drazah, and the pair often teamed up together. Drazah even gave Scrap a shout out in a tweet after winning a CDL match. The two became quite close friends, with Scrap aiming to follow in Drazah's footsteps and make a noise in the Pro League.
I mean, I've been playing S&D since, I don't know, I've been 12, and Crim's like, he's ass.
But even despite subbing in for a league match and putting on a clinic for Toronto, Scrappy was still denied a permanent call-up to the roster. But that would not last for long. Meanwhile, his buddy Drazah was making all of the headlines, for reasons both inside and outside of the game. It all started at the Kickoff Classic 2022, where against reigning champions Atlanta FaZe, Drazah controversially abused a glitch known as a one-way smoke to secure one of his kills. MVP Simp went on a rampage on Twitter against Drazah and Kenny, and just like that, Drazah was one of the more hated players in the league. But the rivalry with FaZe was far from over, because at the World Championship it was none other than FaZe versus Thieves in the Grand Final.
Tusk on a boy! He's in! He wins it! There's only one man left! And it's done! It's over! Daylight robbery!
From being a substitute to now winning the World Championship within 3 years, Drazah's rise in Call of Duty was nothing short of remarkable. But unlike other players, he'd fully embraced the role of the villain, and he made sure to let FaZe know exactly how he felt about them. The drama became so intense that both Tiny Terrors, Simp and aBeZy, made their thoughts on Drazah very clear indeed. Beefing on Twitter after the championship, to aBeZy sparking massive drama by responding to this tweet about Drazah's girlfriend Keeks. Keeks had already become a controversial figure in the community after seemingly screaming out loud from the crowd when the other team was defusing the bomb in Search and Destroy. Drazah though had made it clear he was not afraid to conduct warfare by any means necessary. Heading into the 2023 season, Drazah was arguably the most hated player in the entire league. But as Scrappy finally got his shot on the starting lineup of Toronto, the potential was now there for both players to exchange some friendly blows. Thieves put together another major winning run that season, with Drazah continuing to talk smack in interviews.
So, yeah, slammed. But yeah, it was amazing.
Drazah still had FaZe on a string on social media, with Slasher seemingly accusing him of using Addy in the middle of the season. For Scrappy, however, he had the opportunity to join Drazah on the exclusive list of world champions just 1 year after his boy accomplished that very feat. At Champs, Toronto Ultra had booked their spot in the grand final, and Scrappy felt like he had one hand on the trophy already in his rookie year. But it was in the post-game interview before the final where Scrap made the boldest decision of his career.
Yeah, we knew what they were going to come out and do. We know how they play.
He's prescribed that.
It is what it
Probably.
is. Just kind of play us, mix it.
Nah, a lot of them
Scrap
are.
made it clear he wanted to be considered the #1 villain, not Drazah. But this decision aged like milk. Ultra got absolutely body slammed by the Bulldog and New York Subliners in the grand finals, failing to win a single map.
I'm gonna keep it cool. There was an interview,
Yeah, that's insane.
I let the gameplay speak, and it was a flawless sweep. So.
As a result, many believed Scrappy would tone down the trash talking heading into 2024, but he had no such plans, and if anything, this was the season that would turn out to be the most controversial of all time.
We knew we were going to come in and handle business. They're a pretty ass team.
But not just for Scrap, because after an intense rivalry in 2022 with FaZe, Drazah parted ways with Nadeshot's organization and declined the opportunity to join Optic and all the associated benefits to join.
Adderall fucks your appetite though, so it kind of I guess it kind of goes hand in hand because they're sitting around doing nothing all day, so at least they're eating and not burning it off or whatever. But they just. That's what it does it for me, at least.
Atlanta FaZe, the very players that constantly mocked him and his girlfriend.
I just get fat and got
how important winning was to Drazah, and it's worked out so far. But in a qualifying match in the middle of that season, he was able to
It's so bad, bro.
Scrappy's Ultra team in a comfortable 3-0 fashion.
You gotta really watch it if you get on anything like
just any
that.
other regular season league match, largely meaningless
You
in the
lose
grand
pretty
scheme of the
fast.
season, with not all that much at stake. But instead, this was the match that
I might
ended up
not even realize it.
kickstarting a fierce rivalry. And it all began with nothing more than a fidget spinner. After going down 2-0 against Drazah, Scrap could be seen playing with his fidget spinner and keeping things relaxed. But as Ultra went on to lose the series, some people called this behaviour out, one of them being Drazah's very own girlfriend Keeks. But maybe she didn't expect Scrappy to take things personal. He put out his own tweets.
We
in
know about
retaliation,
you,
but the
relax.
drama was far from over. As the tweets continued to fly, Scrappy's own girlfriend Darian decided to chime in, with Scrap insinuating that Keeks had a reputation for sliding in the DMs of many pro players. Drazah claimed Scrap was lying, and with both sides trading blows, the community erupted as they witnessed one of the most personal rivalries in recent times. Over the coming days, Scrappy initially backed down, admitting that he'd messed up and shouldn't have taken things that far.
I f***ed up. I was good friends with Jaws. I DM'd him. I said, bro, I completely understand. I f***ed up. You know, I took it too far. This is different because me and Draz, I've known this kid for years. We play together. We're fucking cool as f***. Or like, we were cool as f***.
Revealing that they were friends, implying that the future was very different, but now accepting that if Drazah wanted to keep the rivalry going, he was equally down to make it happen. Drazah said, rent-free, and the game was on. With Lan arriving at Major 2,
that's crazy.
things
It's
went
just rent-free.
FaZe went on to win the tournament.
Bruh.
And it was here where Drazah had some choice words for Scrappy.
Like I
Oh
said
my
before,
fucking
too,
God.
I run that org. They haven't beat me in forever. And where's that dick rider Scrappy at? Is he already going home? Like, I don't know what's going on here, but
This interview kickstarted some even more controversial tweets, with Scrap's girlfriend Darian exposing the infamous Excel spreadsheet.
An
that
Excel
supposedly
spreadsheet of
listed
DMs
all
going
the pros
around.
that Keeks had tried it on with. Keeks then fired back, supposedly with proof that Darian was a so-called puck bunny back in Canada. Darian wasn't having any of this, then bringing Keeks and Drazah's child into the conversation, and as you might expect, this did not end too
Okay, wait.
well.
We gotta go back to
Bunny
the puck
back
money in Canada. Wait, what? Top 5 biggest puck sluts? Is that in order, lol?
Canada.
No, that's wild.
Darian wasn't having any of this, then bringing
Keeks, I can't respond to you because you didn't say it directly to me, but you trapped a 21-year-old with a kid and no ring. You're the last person to talk. Get a
Keeks
job,
and
you
Drazah's
bum.
child into the conversation, and as you might expect, this did not end too well. Drazah fired back.
Wonder how many people you had to fuck to get that realtor job. So keep my girl and my kid out of your mouth. You talking about trapped when you're 29 dating a 20-year-old.
Darian called him piano teeth.
Shut the fuck up,
The
piano
Conti
teeth.
has never-
wait.
Darian called him piano teeth.
Shut the fuck up, piano teeth. You have dentures at 21. Who is watching your child while your Gia foams at the mouth over cod bros in the
The
front
Conti has
row?
never seen the like.
Who cares? Hello? If you're gonna get personal with me, at least lock in the next event. Don't get top 4 like a kid stand. The one time he's ever talked to a top 4 team, he had 5 out of chance.
But this beef was far from over.
But someone then goes out of their way, right, to email someone's employer, right, and get their job taken from them. It wasn't Drazah that did it. I don't know if he knew that was like what she was doing.
Yeah,
or what.
see, that's where it's like,
Emailed my
holy
girlfriend's
shit, bro.
brokerage to
That's
get
wild.
her fired.
At the following major in Toronto, things allegedly almost got physical, according to Darian. Different sources either confirm or deny the validity of this hotel lobby
Confronting a 5'2" female in a hotel lobby while I'm alone, acting like you're gonna fight me is hilarious. Drazah, you're a fucking bitch.
confrontation, with Drazah claiming
Laughed my ass off this dumb whore lying when she was staring us down trying to start something when she was the one who said something first. Have you and your pussy ass boyfriend come back to the lobby and we will see who the
into
real
country
bitch
with
is?
some choice
Bro.
words and fired some more shots at Scrap. This time he claims that Scrap was taking testosterone to counteract his
All you do is lie. Nobody's scared of a skinny boy who took testosterone to feel more manly. Tell your whore to stop lying and keep your mouth shut if you two won't do anything when you see us. Saying all I do is lie, then saying I'm on testosterone, brother, you got to be on so many drugs. Holy
supposed
fuck.
physical weakness. You really could not make some of this stuff up. Absolute cinema. And this was arguably the peak of the rivalry, but it was far from over just yet. At the World Championship in Dallas, the league themselves decided to shed light on the situation.
Yeah, this
match
is
between
OD.
FaZe and Ultra
I'm
in the
sorry,
second
but this
round,
is OD
the
as
official
fuck.
broadcast did something which made the community erupt.
I could not believe this. They did this shit.
They're best friends, best friends. Yep. Oh, okay, yeah. So as we were talking about the drama on the matchup here with Scrap and Drazah, yeah, it is extended to loved ones. We just play Call of Duty here. Everything. Yeah, no, it's more than Call of Duty. No, that's it. It's more than Call of Duty, Joe.
Neither Darian nor Keeks had been
True.
informed that these events will unfold in this manner, but truly the WWE of esports. Ultra came out on top, and when it was time for the fist bumps, still no love lost between the pair.
Jesus.
Even the off-season tournaments were the same story, and many have wondered whether it is ever possible for these two to fully resolve their beef. At the same time, Scrappy extended his head-to-head advantage over Drazah all time, but Drazah has been clawing it back so far in 2025. With Scrap now joining LA Thieves heading into 2025, forming a so-called super team, it was clear that both players have made it to the pinnacle of the esport. From starting out in the trenches to making finals appearances at the World Championship, Scrap and Drazah took a path that very few did. The controversial way, becoming villains and being hated by many. At Major 1 in 2025, it was FaZe who came out on top in the final, and once again, both players refused to show each other any respect.
I don't know what's good with him. Like, he's begging for a fist bump. I don't know if it's like so people can be on his side or something, but like, bro, I have no respect for him.
Are you pissed?
A little bit.
Miami fan.
Why? I think he needs to give it up, bro. They're gonna be friends in like 5 years anyways. Might as well just start now.
FaZe also took Major 2, but Thieves bounced back spectacularly, winning Major 3 without breaking a sweat, and getting Scrappy on the board again this season.
They're going to drop them. They're going to win it. It's back-to-back for the LA Thieves, your Major 4 champ.
Two incredibly talented players, taking a similar path to stardom. Controversial and chaotic, maybe in another universe, they could have been best friends on a World Championship winning roster. But the way this drama transpired, it's hard to imagine this rivalry will ever end. All signs point towards a clash of the ages at COD Champs and the Esports World Cup later this year. Whoever comes out on top will have the last laugh, for now.